And we are live. Welcome to Mo Boxing No Problem. I am your host, Jose Mojarez Jr., and we got a special guest with us today. We got Brandon the Cannon Adams. How's it going, Brandon?
It's going well, man. Everything is going well.
Glad to hear. Your name's buzzing. You're the talk of the boxing world right now, Brandon. You just signed with the DMG. Can you tell us how that deal came to be?
Well, DMG is new. DMG is a new promotion. Man, we went this year. Well, excuse me, last year. Last year, I went. Not only did I fought Boychuk, I won. I beat Boychuk unanimously. I went to all the conventions, and as we were going to all the conventions, my phone was ringing. It was buzzing for opportunities from different promotions and different promoters. I am no longer with my promotion, which was at the time Banner Promotions and also the Contender. My contract was finally up. I was freed from obligations with those promotions, and in my mind, man, I kind of wanted to give an opportunity to a promotion that showed interest in me from the very beginning. uh, Ever since like right before I fought Boychuk and when I was going to the DMG boxing gym and just being around those people, they showed a lot of interest in me versus other promotions when I was coming up. Other promotions, like they thought I was a good fighter, but they didn't think I was good enough to for them to like forcefully come and get me from the situation that I was in. And I'm older, I understand that.
Right.
So me, how I was looking at things, I was like, look, this is a new promotion. I mean, everything at this particular moment is now pretty much relatively new. I got my coach, Dub Hundy, is now he's a little older, so he can't move around. So now I have Trevor Sombrano there. I have a new manager, Mark Habibi. Like everything, my performance coach, Damon Harris, Saul, my cut man, Achua. Like everything on my team pretty much at this particular moment is relatively new. So I felt it was right to carry a new promotion, which is DMG, on my back and bring a championship home to SoCal because DMG is also from the same area in which I reside. So this is great.
No, absolutely. A few comments here. We got one from K Rod. It says, "Yo, what's up, Mo? And salute Brandon from Albany, New York. You're a great fighter, and I hope you achieve your world title goals."
Thank you. I appreciate that. I appreciate the love, man.
And then we got Sports and Tunes here. My co-host says, "Can't wait for the next fight. Congratulations on you signing, Brandon."
Thank you, man. I'm appreciative.
Perfect. And then Bruce got us in Boston says, "Salute." So salute to you, brother. And as you mentioned, Brandon, like after your performance with Bolshevik, no surprise that every promoter wanted to reach out and to sign you. You were also linked to another new promoter, and I want you to confirm if there was any lead to that. TKO and Sufo Boxing. Did they also reach out?
Yeah. The only thing so far, never know what the future holds, but Zuffa has different weight divisions from traditional boxing. Like 154 doesn't exist yet in Zuffa, as far as I'm concerned, as far as I know. And right now, I just wanted to make sure that I did the absolute most at 154. And then if Zuffa's still interested in me, then I would definitely like to go towards Zuffa and fight at 160 and collect as much as I possibly can there. And I'm talking about titles, legacy. When I say collect, I mean to championships.
Absolutely, and that's what's next on board for you. I mean, you're going to be fighting for a title eliminator with the IBF. Hopefully here in LA on April 18th. How does it feel to be so close to being, getting that world title shot?
This time around, It's expected. The first time I got the opportunity to fight for a world title, it was 160 Jamal Charlo at in 2019. It was right after I fought in the on the contender. I didn't know what was going on. I had plans of going back down to 154. Then it was an opportunity. Canelo just relinquished his title. So myself and Jamal, we fought for the vacant title there. Everything like it kind of just happened. Like boom, okay, it's go time. You got to go. And this time around, this time me and my team actually were calculative picking and selecting how we wanted to go about things and was manifesting and here I am today. I know my route. We picked to choose to go forward this way and I know what to expect and I feel very confident.
Absolutely. Comment here from someone soon says, I bet Brandon and Lawrence King share some bombs and sparring.
Yeah. No, not so much. Like usually when we spar, just because I like to respect fighters and their weight,
Mhm.
and Lawrence does the same thing. So we be up in there, we be sparring, we get real technical, but nonetheless, it's real fun just because of our size differences. I push him to work real hard. He pushed me to get stronger and work hard. So we always having fun. That's little bro, man. I appreciate him.
That's awesome. That's awesome. And Brandon, your next fight on April 18th, that title eliminator would be against Yerko. What could you tell us about him?
Um, he's never lost. He's undefeated. Um, he's black and Irish. You know what I'm saying? That's totally different. The Black Thunder. Um, honestly, man, I know he's tough. He's a tough competitor. He's not afraid of banging. I know I'll be the biggest name fight that he's had his whole career. This will be his first time fighting out of the States, out of the UK. So it's a lot of new things for him as well. But I don't feel like he would, want that to be an issue for moving into this fight. He just got to know he's up against the cannon, man. And I've been here for a very long time. Honestly, man, my name has been circling around. I want to say honestly, man, for like the last 10 years, every time when I am active, my name is always within the top 10 of things. And it's a reason why. It's because, my skill sets and I've gotten much better. I am much better than I've ever been. And I'm more of a man than I've ever been. And going into this fight April 18th, not only will he see and feel it, but the world will too. And, Cannon Nation will become that much bigger and greater.
That's right. That's right. And I'm sure you're gonna be watching with vested interest on January 31st when the current champion Bakram takes on Josh Kelly. How do you see that fight playing out?
All right. So honestly, man, I feel like our champion should retain the title, could retain the title, but Josh Kelly is he's no pushover, he's no slouch, he's gonna work real hard. This is his hometown. He's so although he's not the champion, he will have the hometown favor. Um, and he's very slick. He's always been a slick fighter. It's just to be a testament to whether or not if he gets tired too quick or not. With the movement and the lateral motions in which he makes, and see if that his punching power will be enough to freeze and neutralize Backrump and what he's capable of doing. But honestly, man, I think Backrump is a solid fighter, and he's gonna come in there and he knows what he's gonna have to do. Um, but I'm looking forward to fighting either one of those guys just because they're the top guys. And it's extremely important for me to, while I'm on this campaign, fight the best fighters in our division and show why I am the best fighter in our division.
And then Brandon, to start the interview, you mentioned some of the conventions you attended. One that stood out to me was the 2025 WBC annual convention they had in Bangkok, Thailand. How's that experience?
It was great. The people there are very nice. You know what's the funniest thing ever, man? Is like as soon as I got off the airplane, they looked at and they said hi, and I was like, "Hey, what's going on? How you doing?" And then they were like, "Yo, yo, yo, you from the States?" New York, LA, California. And I was like, damn, that's funny. And you can tell, man, they weren't trying to be funny. It's just culturally, I was different. And my nickname became hip hop. So it's the funniest thing ever. But I took it in stride. I understood what it was. The people were very friendly. The WBC convention was very nice. It was very nice. They show what they do and how they, how they take care of fighters, how the WBC is organized, and paying homage and just working towards trying their best to clean up and help out fighters who's not fighting anymore, retired fighters, and you can see where they're trying to clean up boxing from their end, and they're very open to trying to figure out new ways of getting the job done. So kudos to them for doing so.
Absolutely. And then comment here from Sports and Soon says Brandon deserves a fight versus Virgil Ortiz. Is that something we can get in the future? I know it's all back and forth with his manager and your manager.
Yeah, so the funniest thing ever, man, is his manager. Before I fought Boychuk, man, I got an opportunity. Well, it was rumors of me fighting, and it was a little more than just rumors of me fighting Virgil, and it was either Virgil or Boychuk. The thing is Virgil wasn't 100% certainty. The Boychuk fight was, and there was a deadline I had to reach. I went with Boychuk because that was 100%. The Ortiz one was like they were like 75%. And after I fought and beat Boychuk, like it went from it being a percentage of us fighting to his manager like, oh, we need $15 million in the escrow account. And I was like, come on, bro. That brother ain't even making 15 million right now. And if you guys feel and believe I'm an easy fight, then that fight should have been easily made because I'm one of the top names in the division. And this is an easy paycheck. But I think his team and his manager was just going the long way around saying, "Hell no, that fight right there, you looked a certain kind of way. You don't look how we need for our fighter to be looking if you guys fought." And me fighting him could get in the way of a mega fight with a bigger name for a larger purse. So I'll do my end and I'll work on making sure I build up what I need to build up so then I can't be denied. That's why I'm going after the IBF. Nobody wanted to fight the IBF champion. Everybody was kind of staying away, going for the WBC or the WBA, the WBO. So I was like, you know what? Boxing ain't it. The route that for me in boxing has never been easy. I've never had an easy road. Um, that's how I wind up running across Boychik the first time. That's why I wind up running across Jamal Charlo at 160 when I was trying to campaign at 54. Uh, I run into tournaments with guys in the tournaments that are Olympians, and you just never know who you're gonna fight. I'm not shying down. I'm not running from any of the guys in the division. So if the route seems like it's hard, then I'm not turning it down. I'm not gonna run away from it. Boxing is already a tough enough sport. I've made it already, and now I'm just here to show how I made it and what I'm gonna do after it's all done.
Well said. And yeah, you're not running for anyone, but looks like they're running from you. That's what Bruce Gas Boxing says Brandon's the boogeyman at 154.
Well,
And
if
160 now, right?
yeah, if I am like the boogeyman, I guess you could say I'm the boogeyman that smiles. That's out. I'm not hiding.
The
I'm
friendly
not standing in the
boogeyman.
dark. Yeah, I'm trying to make
And
sure I'm visible,
there you go. And then K Ross says, you're a great talent, Brandon. I've been supporting you for a long time since PBC days.
and I appreciate that.
Yeah. And speaking of that, we've been saying the Bohachik win. That was on arguably probably the biggest event of 2025, Canelo Crawford, and your fight against Bohachik was the performance of the night, and you got the 100K bonus. First of all, how did it feel to get that performance of the night, and what did you do with that bonus money?
All right. So first and foremost, I didn't even know that they was actually giving out bonuses. We heard that they were going to be doing so. And then when they said I got performance of the night, I was like, wait a second, man. I started looking at the other fighters and I was like, man, they did a great job too. Is this serious? And sure enough, the check came. It was serious. But I went back. I went to go watch the fight because I criticized myself extremely hard. So I kept watching the fight, and I was in awe. I couldn't believe that that was the performance of the night. I took it. I'm grateful. I'm thankful. And then with the money, man, I invested it. I invested it. Excuse me. Let me make sure I said that a lot clearer. I own and run a boxing gym, Cannon Nation Boxing Gym, which is in Santa Fe Springs, just like in LA. um Between the 605, the 5, the 90, the 91, it's like the 105. I made sure my gym is like around all of those freeways. But investing into my own businesses and stuff like that, man, I'm just making sure that everything that I do is the right way to uh show that other people are very capable of doing so, as long as they work hard and never give up on themselves.
That's awesome. And as far as soon as going back to the boogeyman comment where you said you're trying to be visible, like I said, like Jadakiss says, we outside. LOL.
Yeah, outside, man. That's real. I'm trying to make sure I'm seen. Like boogeyman usually try to hide until it's time to be scary. Well, so I guess the scariest thing is that I'm in everybody's face smiling and I'm out. Like you said, I'm outside.
Absolutely. And Brandon, considering we're just starting 2026, I know we got your next fight kind of plan, but what are your 2026 goals? What do you want to, get out of this year?
I want to unify. I
Nice.
want to unify. After I become the IBF world champion, I want to see if whoever wins out of the Xanders and the other brother.
Baru.
Yes, Maru. Whoever wins that fight, if they're interested in trying to capture what I have, and collect past go. I want. That's what I want to do.
Unify, and then 2027, undisputed. There you go. Swords and Tunes, undisputed.
That's exactly what I'm going for.
Love that. Love that. Well, final question I got for you, Brandon. It's not really a question now. Just kind of opening up the floor to you. What's the message you want to send to your fans and supporters?
Well, that it was just that, man. Self belief is a real thing. I never gave up, no matter what had happened in my whole career. I've been resilient. I just didn't give up. I had a vision. I saw the vision, and I'm seeing the vision out completely, entirely. I out When I was coming up, it was fighters who I used to admire, and now most of all of those fighters are all gone. One of the only fighters who's doing it and still doing it is Canelo. We're around the same age. But besides Canelo, it's not too many fighters who's still able to be at the peak of their game or at such a high level for the duration of how long we've been here. And I like to think that I'm fine wine. I'm getting better every fight that you see me getting in, that you see me. I'm getting better, and I'll continue to get better until my missions, my goals are complete, and then I can walk away feeling real good about what I've done and pave way for, like I said, people who right now who don't know how to believe in themselves. They believe in me. Well, I'll be their training wheels until they learn how to believe in themselves. And once they take the training wheels off, self belief is everything.
Very well said. And final question from Sports and Tunes says, will you be attending DMG events to show love to your fans?
Of course. I'm gonna be trying to show up as much as I possibly can, man. Cannon Nation is growing. We in full effect. I appreciate everybody. I appreciate everything. And it just, it reminds me to keep going. And I appreciate it, like every individual. That's why I always show love to everybody.
That's right, man. So to have everybody show love back, follow Brandon Adams on Instagram at Cannon Nation. You can see it there scrolling on the bottom of the banner. And Brandon, thank you so much for your time. It was great to talk boxing. Just
Thank you
catch
for
up with you
having me.
anytime.
Thank you.
All right, we'll
All
be
right.
tuning in to your next fight. Bye.
For sure.
All right, bye.